Hey guys, welcome back to our Klonoa commentary. A game where fishes can fly and jesters kill grandpas.
It only took him the third try to realize, oh wait, my joke's not funny.
My joke was no funnier either. We do sometimes we have little multiple takes. Everybody, we're spoilers.
He says my jokes aren't funny when his aren't that much better. That said, we're off to Corona. Or Coronia.
Let's just face it, we're all not funny in our own way.
Yeah, so we missed out getting the moon thingy. We can. Oh, actually, no, we did get the thing. We can use the moon key thingy here, right?
No, they took the moon pendant.
So crap, we need to get the sun one, right?
No, there is no sun one.
Yeah, there is no sun one. Though that being said, the method to using the moon pendant is here. So, yeah.
Oh, so we can cut them off here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cut him off at the pass.
So here we are in the Coronia, the Temple of the Sun, where 4 jewels are needed in order to progress.
Yep.
And not convenient, there's the pedestals right there.
And even more
Are
convenient.
they all different shapes and sizes?
You're Mr. Klonoa and Mr. Hugo, correct?
Wait,
Who
who?
said that?
Who's asking?
Huh?
We've been waiting for you.
Who are these ominous voices? Oh, and who's the sassy one
Oh,
next
hello.
to Hi there.
They look like nutcracker hats.
They do.
Hanging out here, I guess.
So
They don't
like-
have-
Okay,
Sorry.
there.
Please allow me to bid
Yeah, basically the whole deal with them is that one of them's refined and the other one just gets right to the point.
Very nice.
Gotcha.
In a way, kind of like Logan and Hype.
Oh, come on, guys.
Which one's which?
That's for you to decide.
Yes.
Huh.
please take a look over here.
So, I mean, they may as well just be getting to the cuddling right now because, okay, to sum up what these guys are saying much, much faster, all the stones have been lost and or moved around this entire temple, which means now welcome to the closest thing to a Metroidvania level that this game will offer.
Yeah, and that pretty much like you gotta collect 4 things, and they're all separated through separate paths, and you have the freedom to go to get whichever one you want, just so long as you get them all.
Yep.
Aw, don't say that about yourself.
Oh, about them. Okay, I was about to say, in case the video link isn't of any indication, this is also the longest selection of levels in the game.
Yeah, pretty much. I would argue that next to Crest, this is easily one of the longer levels in the game. Rightfully so, because we're honestly near the end. Or as close to the end as we could possibly be right now. So, with that said, let's head on out. And, yeah, like I said, the second, like, they even, like, pointed out right the signs right there, like, which ones you'll find the jewels in. And, yeesh, what a labyrinth.
Yeah.
If only the laws of 2D platforming were into play, we could just jump right over there and grab them.
Man,
Double
so
damn
close,
gameplay
but so we gotta
limitations.
deal with this. So, all in all, yes, this is why I say this is my least favorite level in the game.
It's yeah.
It drags.
I'm not the biggest fan of this level either. Not just because it's long, but it's also honestly pretty tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that too.
Like those that say that Klonoa is one of those easy peasy games, kind of like Kirby. I'll just point you to right here, and then you can eat your own words.
Actually, that kind of reminds me of something we talked about in the original playthrough, where it's like we talk about how like it's this odd little thing about how it's always like the really cutesy looking platformers that tend to have the most deceptively nail-biting difficulty. Like between this, Yoshi, I would say Kirby, but for the most part Kirby's kind of a breeze depending on the game.
Yeah. I guess you could, in some way, you can also argue Mega Man is kind of like that too.
A little.
No, Mega Man, if you're talking like classic Mega Man, maybe.
Classic Mega Man, yeah.
Okay.
Not so much X. X, well, to be fair, it goes for the edge pretty hard.
Yeah, I was about to say, nothing cuddly about X.
Nope.
Move over, you okay, you know what? Screw it. I'll just take advantage of this. I already have like what 8 hits left.
Yeah, I was
Thank
about
you.
to say, since
If
you
this
have
were-
like
if this-
you have like double health, so it won't hurt to like abuse frame rates.
I mean, granted,
Right.
if this were Klonoa 2, that'd be a completely different story, because again, you're pretty freaking brittle in that game. You only got 3 hits to your name, so you really gotta be especially careful with all the obstacles.
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, I appreciate that Klonoa was able to catch his ring, even though it's like the laws of physics should have just, well, made it so that, well, it fell right down to the abyss.
One of those, yeah.
Physics didn't take into account idle animations.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
So, how's everybody doing?
Doing pretty good, I guess.
Doing
I
alright.
Yeah, I just got back from seeing my gramps at the rehab center, which I guess, for those wondering, that's the thing that I've been kind of alluding to the past handful of videos whenever I alluded to it.
Okay.
The few times you allude to it, I guess.
Well, I'm sure there are still people that I joke about, but I'm sure there must have been like some people that are curious whenever I mention things like my folks needing help with stuff and whatnot.
Right.
That's fair. Ouch!
Careful. Oh,
Again, the glory of being able to shoot anything that's not within the 2D plane.
Come on, move. There you go.
And I swear this machinery must be so freaking old, because that did not need to take as long as it did.
nope.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Sealy?
I'm okay. I'm feeling a little ill, but there's a reason for it.
How are
Okay.
you doing, sweetie?
Oh, was Celie still explaining her thing? I didn't
yeah.
mean to interrupt her.
Yeah, I was. Sorry about that. I had a physical therapy appointment today for a condition that I've been working on, which involves my body going in places that aren't really natural to me. So, to try to sum it up, my brain, my head, my spine are not perfectly aligned with each other. In other words, I'm not really in a straight position. My normal head position is forward and to the left. And so when I try to go to the right, like just too far to the right, I start to get sick and feel like I'm gonna pass out.
Oh, so you have you have a very onset case of vertigo.
Yeah, not only that, and the actual cause of that, one huge cause of that is the carotid artery in my back, the part that's in my back. There's a kink in it is what causes the fainting spells.
You know, I'm not sure what feels a little more awkward. The fact for the remake we're talking about Seely's condition, or in the original we're talking about a dumb anime that parodied the 16-bit wars.
Oh, right, that.
Yeah, we were talking about it then, and we mentioned that a few times. That one show.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I was actually also going to ask, like, kind of, I guess, getting on track with this because I'm actually really curious. So, what is happening with this? So, okay, how do we hear about this, and what do we know about the Klonoa movie?
As far as I'm concerned, the news came about a year or two ago, and it was even supplemented with concept art by Hitoshi Ariga, again, the artist that did that one awesome Klonoa comic by Shifty Looks, as well as the Mega Man Megamix series. He made concept art for it, and it came with the news, and well, it's been in the concept stages ever since. And I don't remember if they've gone into production for it yet, but I'm hoping we get some news about it soon.
Yeah, I'm hoping
Okay.
so, because I noticed it seems to be a thing when it comes to, like, certain video game adaptations, where it's like, we'll get an announcement, and it feels like years before we see any concrete evidence. Like, I think probably one of the biggest offenders of that is Ratchet and Clank, because, good lord, how long was it between that teaser and when we started finally seeing trailers of it?
There's Ratchet. I also point the blame to Pac-Man, because I remember back when Ghostly Adventures, before that ended up being a thing, like, there was that point in time where Pac-Man had that, well, controversial redesign, which I don't mind personally, but, like, that started going out, and even among them was, like, there was the Pac-Man party game for Wii, and then there was the teaser trailer for the TV show, which, and even then, I don't think this show even came out for another 3 or 4 years, roughly.
I believe so.
It's funny how that works out, but, yeah, I mean, again, I'm just hoping that something comes up with Klonoa, and if that does end up becoming a thing, one, I'm hoping that it'll be a 2D movie. Chances are it's going to be CG, but whatever. And secondly, if it is going to be a thing, I mean, an English dub is more than likely, but I actually wouldn't mind seeing a quote-unquote Phantomile dub of it too. Kind of in the spirit of the games.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. I guess the problem I see with that is that it might be a little bit too I guess for lack of a better word, confusing for people unfamiliar with the series, where it's like, how come everyone's speaking in gibberish and we can't understand it?
Well, to be fair, Hyde, there was one movie that the guys and I watched a while ago, based on the Asterix series, where they actually, you remember Logan, the Egyptian speak,
Yes. That was
and
cute.
they literally made an entire skit dedicated to the
Explaining
processes
it.
of dubbing.
Right.
Well, that's just one part of that's just like one skit in a movie. I'm talking about like an entire feature with that.
Yeah, I guess so. But in all fairness, that could also be your way of explaining like how these people speak, and well, just leave it at that. I mean, it's not really that far out of the realms of possibility. It's just that, well, depends on if they want to spend the money to do so.
Right.
That's true. I guess another thing I'm also curious about is, I think it might be obvious, but if they are gonna go through with that Klonoa movie, do you think they'll just try to make it like an adaptation of the first game, or try to come up with like an original story for the characters?
I think I overheard they're probably going to be just doing an adaptation of the first game.
That'd be interesting.
What do you two have to weigh in on this? We're not just
Hello,
talking
little
amongst
knuckle
ourselves.
popo.
Jordy and Sealy, sorry. What do you guys... Would you guys... like,
So
from what you
Could
guys...
you?
What?
Quick, put on our sunglasses.
That's not how it works.
So, what would you... So, from what you've been seeing of this here, would that interest you in seeing a Klonoa movie?
It would.
Maybe.
Oh, I almost forgot. This is when they bring up the whole exposition behind Gaudius. We just talked over it. Sorry, guys.
Oh well.
Uh-oh.
I mean, okay, Gaudius is a bad guy. Mean baddie. Literally, spoilers for all it amounts to in this game, that's all you need to know. It's just Gaudius is a bad dude.
Yeah, basically. I mean, even one of the lines, one of the smartass said was like, "AKA Mr. Big Bad himself."
Right.
It's like they're aware.
Yeah, that's all you really need to worry about. Like, this game was never intending to have a sequel made.
Even though it did,
Makes
and
sense.
I mean, I think it was pretty good personally.
No, I'm not saying... Okay.
Still wishing it got a remake or a re-release or something.
Right, I'm not saying it's a bad sequel. I'm just saying, like, this game we're playing right here, this one game was designed not thinking they were going to be making a sequel.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, Klonoa 1 is self-contained. And the sequel, I mean, I mean, okay, I'll just be straight to the point. You really don't need to play this game in order to play Klonoa 2, but it would make a little bit more sense on how, well, Klonoa ended up in his situation.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess it's kind of in a similar vein on how, like, you don't really need to play Rayman 1 in order to understand a lot of what Rayman 2 does. Well, partly because they kind of retconned a lot of things from Rayman 1.
Right.
You know, it's funny you say that, though, because when you stop and think about it, the situation between Rayman and Klonoa are eerily similar. Like, how they ended up in their position in the sequel compared to the first game.
Oh, really?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you for your help. It caught me off guard.
Aw, poor, whatever your name is.
I forget. Did they give them names? I feel like in the original it was a little bit easier because you could, like, see text next to the text
Moiri.
box.
The sanctuary.
Don't worry. I think they gave them their names. And, well, he's just here to tell you that, oh, shit's going foobar, and, well... Oh, that's right, I almost forgot. This level has a pretty nasty gimmick, which he's about to explain.
Soon be real.
Alright, the day and night thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Moon Kingdom crest gathers up the power of dreaming and gives form to Phantomile. In
Interesting.
other words, it's the land where all things are created. Guardians is
So,
trying to
heaven?
turn dreams into nightmares and unleash
I don't know.
evil above.
One of the two.
Something about this guy gives me a few Dane Green vibes. Like, I don't know if it's just me, but
No,
hearing it. Yeah, I was
I
hearing
hear
it
it too.
For sure.
I don't entirely hear it, but I'll take your word for it.
Dan Green didn't voice in any video games, did he?
well, he was
Well, the
Knuckles for
Sonic
like a few
games.
years.
All right. I'll let
Can I
you
just say I always like the designs of... Never.
go.
Yeah, I like
I'm
their
just
designs.
asking in general.
Well, the designs of the little things on their heads. They're called...
Yeah.
I think they're called Nagapokos.
They're like
Oh, yeah,
owls
those. They're
and
cute.
birds. Oh,
The
jeez.
solar eclipse
And they can fly.
enemy power. You must attack them when there is light.
But yeah, just to go
So,
back to
yeah. No, go ahead.
Just to go back to Seely's inquiry, yes, on top of all the stuff that he's done for Sonic, I do know for at least one of the Ape Escape games, Dan Green was also the professor, and he actually came back to voice him for PlayStation Smash Brothers.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it was nice to see, even though I think he put on the wrong voice for him.
Yeah.
Like, was it a different voice than
Looking
what he
it
had
up,
in that game?
Yes. It was a lot more. It sounded more Yugi than whatever he was going for in, or excuse me, Yami Yugi than whatever he was going for in the original. Like, okay, yeah, now here's the gimmick of this level. Whenever the sun goes down, the enemies become indestructible. Take that into account, and, well, good luck.
Here we go.
Yep.
And I will say, like, whether it be I would say the original, they're a little more intimidating, but here, they still look fucking creepy at night.
It's
Or,
dark,
during
and the
the
glowy
eclipse.
eyes, and...
Oh, that's also another thing. The day and night cycle also is a factor when it comes to, like, these platforms, too.
Oh,
I love how I just cheesed that part right there.
yes, you did. I'm actually curious how, I'm actually curious because I'm forgetting, actually. So what is, like, the quote-unquote timer of how long it takes for the sun to rise and all that?
I want to say roughly 5 to 10 seconds.
Okay.
Now the good thing is that the whole gimmick is only in effect when you're outside. When you're inside, it's always daytime all the time.
Oh, thank goodness. Dogs are
So
great.
the dogs are certainly happy for that.
Now the dogs are just barking at the sky changing every 10 seconds. It's freaking them out.
Yeah.
The end is upon us. Anyway.
Come on. Oh, come on, really?
Wow.
Well, is it...
Metal inside armor inside armor. Who does that shit?
Alright, easy, easy. Now that I do like is that, for the most part, they set this up so that even if it's daytime or nighttime, you can still progress and you're never, like, stuck waiting. Like those platforms, for instance. Like, yeah, you can't do the normal bounce, but don't worry, we'll make these platforms appear to still give you a way up.
Which is something I would love to say for one particular section we'll come to later on. Cause that's like the one exception to the rule, and it kind of bugs the shit out of me.
Ah, crap.
You'll see what I mean when we get there, but
Okay.
yeah, just again, this is easily one of the hardest levels in the game. Though I would say, unlike this one, I would say, how should I put this? This one feels a little more, it's a little more interesting than the last level. I'll say that much.
Okay.
Kind of, yeah.
Just because, yeah, you are pretty much under stipulation if you want to actually get through it all without much hassle.
Fair enough. Do you girls
But yeah,
have
no,
any...
like,
Whoops.
but yeah, like, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you girls have any any levels like this that you're not a huge fan of? Where they kind of like have this like timer, like waiting section? Similar to the, kind of similar to, whatever that time block level is in
Beat
Mario
Block
3D World.
Skyway and yeah.
Oh yeah, Beat Block Skyway. I like that. I like that level.
I like the rhythm in that level.
Oh yeah,
Right,
like,
me too.
That's what you strive for. And look at these guys.
I can't think of anything else off the top of my head.
Where am I going? Where'd it go? Where'd it go, George?
Whoa, what the heck?
Where did it go, George? Over there,
Oh,
Phil.
I don't know.
Die.
I don't know if he explained that while I was gone, but that thing that was chasing you, what's that again?
Just a ghosty goop that wants to take you out.
Okay, and that's something
They're
that
very
they added,
similar.
right?
No, that's something they've always said, even the original.
Oh, okay.
Here it's a little more transparent though, because graphical update and everything.
Gotcha.
But that aside, yeah, they don't really add anything like to the remake compared to the original in terms of this level. It's all plays out exactly as you expected. Just it's a little more, well, it doesn't feel as finicky in places. Like it'll definitely be more apparent once we get to like the very last level we'll show for the commentary that being able to chain these moops while trying to double hop is actually a lot nicer here than it was in the original.
That's
good.
Oh, look at that! We're already freed all the hostages. That didn't take long.
Hey.
I was gonna say, like, I was curious how that worked. Where, like, with now that's in 3D, like, did the hitboxes of things change? Like, does it feel smoother? Of course, rendering gameplay wise, it would feel smoother. I think.
This part here sucks.
Yeah. Oop.
Okay, so basically what we did is that we
There you go.
opened up the box there, so all's good and fine. But here's the problem. Now we need to get another mook so we can double jump. Unfortunately, you also have to take into account that platform on the left, so don't activate it like haphazardly.
Okay.
Otherwise, you could be here a while, because timing is fickle.
Right. Here we
I
go.
mean, even here, it seems like I was kind of cutting it close.
Nice. Okay.
It didn't
comes
take
the
quite
move
as
platforms.
long as in the original, though, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, the original, I activated that lift rather extremely prematurely, so that's why it took so long.
Okay.
It's pretty much a bona fide newbie's first nightmare or something like that. Worst nightmare. Blech. I can't speak today.
Right.
Must be the solar eclipse getting into my head.
It's Monday.
One of them
yes.
days.
I hate Mondays.
I hate Mondays.
Just
How
a
did he say that?
I hate Mondays.
What we
I
have
hate
here
my
is a
mom
failure to
Mondays.
communicate.
Oh yeah, this part's special because we actually have to open up a cage which has a little moo inside, and well, also we need that moo, so there you go.
Excuse me.
Excuse me a second, sir. I need you for something.
I'm sure we need to be whacked.
Don't.
Oh. Rude much.
By the way, I don't think we've ever brought this up before, though it's kind of obvious if you're actually watching the footage. Moos are immortal, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because even if you kill them, they always come right back.
Yep. That's the lore now. Deal with it.
Oh, goody, we're done.
Yep.
Already? Wow.
Mm-hmm. And guess who our next boss is?
Oh, thank God.
It's the organ.
We finally made it to the
It's the organ.
The little brats again.
Oh. It's the Phantom.
There's the cockface himself.
Hey, wise. I mean, Gaudius.
Is it supposed to be the same voice actor?
I don't think it is.
Sir, no, definitely not the same filters, but just dark cloak, very huge emphasis on an eye.
What is it you're planning on doing?
It reminds me of Wiseman.
I'll just chalk it up to coincidence, just because this game came out barely that long after Knights.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm getting a Knight's vibe just by looking at him.
Actually, that's something I do want to ask, just in terms of, like, release date correlations. Like, how far was it between the original Klonoa and the original Knights, and by extension, this remake and Journey of Dreams?
As far as the originals are concerned, the original Japanese release of Klonoa was 97, and Knights was 96. The remake was in 2008/2009, and Journey of Dreams was roughly a 2007.
Okay.
So coincidentally, they all pretty much separated themselves by a year. So basically, Gaudius' plan here is that there's supposedly he's going to create a nightmare egg, and then once it hatches, it's going to unleash all sorts of hell and nightmares into the world.
Well, crap.
Wait a minute. He sounds a little different now.
Yeah.
It's because well, this is no time for games.
No time for games. Here I come.
No time for games.
It's time you children learned one final lesson. With the strength I've obtained from the power of darkness.
Oh, he's turning buff and macho now with all the darkness power. So dark.
Actually, you know what? That just gives me this mental image of those little twig arms suddenly becoming like beefy anchor arms.
Yeah, I can see that.
And not his legs, just his arms.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
but
now-
he's bigger.
And now we have
Oh,
Joka actually
hello.
look like something akin to how he did in the original. No limbs.
Thank
Hooray!
goodness.
But he still has. But he still has.
Oh, he still has the goofy walk. Do 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 do
Yes, he
do
does.
do 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 do.
Oh
I
crap.
killed the grandpa.
Whoops.
Okay.
How dare you! It's too soon!
So how-
hello,
so-
hello.
Sorry.
Wait, hang on. Hello, my name is Chloe. Hang on. I
Klonoa.
can't say
My
it.
name is
Chloe.
Inigo Klon. My name is Inigo
Nico
Klonoa.
Klonoa. You killed my grandfather. Prepare to die.
Yeah!
Also, this boss is ridiculously easy compared to the other gimmicks. You just have to shoot him. Oh, what's happening now?
What are you...
What the heck?
Turns into
This
a
is Joker's true
dinosaur.
form.
Hello.
This isn't trippy in the slightest.
Oh,
Now we
crap.
literally got to play a game of Simon in order to undo this random spell.
They all have to be.
What color do
right?
they have to be?
They all have to be yellow.
Okay. So if it's purple, you guys jump on it 3 times. Blue, 2 times.
Yep.
Green, 1 time.
Once. Yeah.
Makes sense.
So it also should be said that all the fire is basically supposed to be a timer for when it's not a solar eclipse, because if that goes out, then he turns into this form, but otherwise he'll just turn to this form if he's already like halfway done anyway.
So it's all yellow. What happens now?
Now we
wait
just
for
gotta
this attack to finish off, and there we go.
Now we wait.
Nuts!
He's weakened. Okay, now we can shoot him.
Oh, okay.
And
Now I'll
back he
admit that's a
goes.
pretty neat. I'll admit that's a pretty neat transformation effect.
Why the hell am I getting Mark vibes?
Oh,
This
The
thing essentially
gesture.
is marks.
Yeah. Only with a lot less respect. And yeah, in case you couldn't tell, don't hit the fists when you're trying to aim these at, because they'll just deflect your moves right back.
or break him, and don't hit his mask because that'll actually deflect the move away. Or no.
No, you can hit him. You can hit him in the face.
Earlier you threw at his face and it just bumped away.
I think it
I get
collided with one of his hands.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
about to say. And down he goes.
Bye bye, Joker.
Doop, boop.
I'll just let it out already, you big baby.
It appears that my time has finally come to an end.
Why haven't you fallen down yet?
Defeated.
I need to give out my final words.
Humiliated.
Oh gosh.
But even so,
Well, look at it this way. At least we've taken out that dirty grandpa killer.
the time
Yep.
has
That is true.
He has been avenged.
I have no regrets.
to the sound of the moon.
Just shut up and die already.
Awakening.
Well, aren't you rude?
Also be in darkness, in nightmare.
Please stop
Least
teasing me
I
with that
can
voice.
leave knowing that you will never be able to find the Bofa.
Bofa?
I'm not gonna do it, ladies and gentlemen, don't worry. But you all know what just happened, and that Hyde clearly got schooled by it.
Wait, what?
Don't worry, I'm about as lost as you are.
I got them both. Anyway,
Okay.
Oh,
Anyway, time for the Moon Kingdom to reawaken.
the Moon Kingdom!
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Took the words right out of my mouth.
And again, this is something this was actually a cutscene that was actually an FMV in the original. Here, they actually try to do it real time.
Yeah, it's kind of like we mentioned. All the scenes that were originally FMVs in the original game, they tried to render real time for the remake.
I mean, I'll give them kudos for trying. It's just that, yeah, the FMV definitely had the better impact.
Yeah.
Though that does make me wonder. Say if this or Klonoa 2 did end up getting another remake or something, like with today's hardware, on a PS4. Tell me that wouldn't look fucking nuts.
It would look nice.
Oh, what's happening?
The Moon Kingdom.
So here we are, folks. This is it, Hupo.
You know what they say, Hupo, when they smoke.
What is this referencing to again?
Spreading out.
We're referencing Hotel Mario.
Okay.
Let's go.
Oh right, the giant tuna.
Oh, hey,
A little
Pamela.
more respect than that, Hype. Gee, no tuna.
Doop.
So yay, off to the Moon Kingdom.
In the
In
next
the
episode.
next part. Yeah, because we spent long
James.
enough wasting everyone's time here.
Yeah, I guess so. Till next time, everybody.
Alright, see you on the next part.
Bye, bye.